Excuse me? Excuse me. I'm sorry. Did I disturb you? Well, I have something very interesting for you today. Let's look at 3 most important words in English, the ones that we use often, but sometimes, yes, I mean sometimes, we tend to get a little confused because we don't know exactly when to use sorry, excuse me, and pardon. So let's start by understanding when to use sorry. Now if I say, I'm sorry I've hurt you, it's clear I've done something wrong. Okay? So when you do something wrong and you regret, remember we were always taught as kids, learn to apologize. And that is what sorry is all about. You say you're sorry when you have done something wrong, something incorrect, maybe you just feel bad about it, you regret it. Well, if you do, don't worry. You have the magic word called sorry. All right. But supposing you're in an announcement at the airport that says, I'm sorry, all flights are delayed. Now, here, yes, of course, they are making an apology because of some circumstances, the flights are delayed. But here, we are giving unpleasant news. So sometimes when you want to say, you don't have something good to say, you always kind of start by saying, I'm sorry. Okay? So it's a good word to use when you have something unpleasant to say. Now imagine a person is fighting for his life and in an operation theatre, and the doctor finally wants to break the bad news to you that he's no more. So he comes out and says, I'm sorry, we really tried. So that is giving unpleasant news, okay? So use sorry when you want to give unpleasant news. Sorry, could you please repeat that? Now, sometimes when people say something that you did not listen, maybe you were, a little preoccupied, you say, sorry, could you please repeat that? It's a way of saying that I didn't listen to what you just said and I'd really appreciate it if you could repeat it again. So you say sorry. So when you want someone to repeat what you just didn't hear, okay, you say sorry. Yes? And well, I'm sorry I can't come today. Now imagine a client of yours has invited you to dinner for a business dinner, but you already have something pre-planned. Now instead of saying, I can't come, I'm too busy, it's a little rude because you are refusing the offer, okay, you're refusing going for dinner with your client, you say, I'm sorry, I can't come today. Or, you could say, I'd love to, but I'm sorry, I can't come today. So when you want to refuse an offer, say you're sorry. Okay. Now, many times we also use the word sorry when we give condolence to someone. Now, condolence is a way of expressing your feeling bad or your kind of sympathy to a friend or a family who's lost someone very dear to them. So, we do say things like rest in peace, but it's always nice to say, I'm sorry, I'm really sorry to hear about your loss. May his soul rest in peace. So yes, friends, we do use sorry when you want to give condolence to someone. Fine. So remember, these are the basic uses of sorry. Please go ahead and use them when you need to. Now let's come to excuse me. So if you notice in the beginning of the lesson, I said, excuse me. Now why did I say excuse me? Because I wanted to grab your attention, okay, and make sure you focus on this lesson. So, excuse me, could you? Now, you want to know the direction to, say, a bank in an area that you've never been before. You want to ask a stranger, so you don't say, hey, hello, shh, shh. You don't do that, that's rude. You say, excuse me. And why you say excuse me? Because you want to grab his attention, you want him to listen to you, and of course, you do not know his name. So you say, excuse me, could you please tell me how to get to this so-and-so bank? And that is how you use excuse me. Okay. Now, supposing the area is really crowded and I want to get by through people like this. So I won't push because it's really rude to push. You say, excuse me, excuse me, excuse me, and that's how you go. So use excuse me when you want to get past through someone or you want people to move a little bit and make space for you to pass. Right? Now imagine we are all at the dinner table and I have an urgent call to make, or maybe I just want to use the washroom. So it's very rude if I just suddenly get up and walk away. So I stand up and say, excuse me, I'll be right back. So when you want to leave a particular place, maybe temporarily, you say, excuse me. Or you're done with your dinner and you're rushing for a meeting, or you're going out with a friend and you're at a dinner table with your family and it's time for you to leave, but the remaining members are just sitting and relaxing, but you need to go. Don't just get up and go. It's rude. Even though they are your family members, always say, excuse me. So you take your plate and you just say, excuse me. All right? So a good thing to do. And now let's come to pardon. Before we understand what pardon is all about, let me tell you there are a lot of people who don't prefer using pardon, and that's all right. It's the choice that you make, but let's just understand how we use it. I beg your pardon, I didn't notice your bag. Now supposing I was busy on my phone, like all of us are all the time, and I go and sit on a chair without noticing there's a small bag, someone else's bag kept there. So I say, I beg your pardon, I didn't see your bag. Now, I beg your pardon is a very formal way of saying sorry. You can also say it when you missed what someone said, like you can say sorry, like you learned your sorry. You can say, I beg your pardon, could you please repeat that? Fair enough, you're just being very formal. Now, the two criminals were pardoned. Here it means the two criminals were found guilty. Yes, they were found guilty, but they were pardoned. They were pardoned means they were left without being punished. So I can't say the two criminals were sorry. That's not what we're saying. They were pardoned means they were left guilt-free, or they were left free without being punished despite being guilty, found guilty. Okay. Now, if John and Maria have had a very bad tiff because Maria did something wrong, and if I tell you, he could never pardon her. Okay, I can't say he could never excuse her, he could never sorry her or say sorry because he's not at fault. But when I say he could never pardon her, I mean to say he could never pardon her for what she's done. So it means to forgive someone for behaving badly or behaving in an undesired way. Okay, friends. So these are the uses of different uses of sorry, excuse me, and pardon. But well, there are certain situations where you are free to use all three of them interchangeably, and I'll tell you how. So imagine you kind of burp. Okay, when you finish your food, you burp or you fart, and oops, that's not a very nice thing, right? So you could say, I'm sorry. You could also say, excuse me, or you could say, I beg your pardon. That's your call, but make sure you say one of these. All right, well, it's time for me to go now. I'll be back soon with a new lesson. Till then, take care and bye.